welcome to this wonderfully happy occasion. I formally declare this congregation of the University of Portsmouth open. Please be seated.
Chancellor, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, graduands. My name is Paul Hayes. I'm a Pro-Vice Chancellor at the University. It's my great privilege to be sharing this precious moment with you, our graduands, and with your partners, parents, families, and friends. I'm delighted that so many of you have joined us today, and it's a great honour to welcome such a diverse community, including some who have travelled from the far corners of the world. We are all now united in our connection to Portsmouth. On behalf of all the staff at the University and our visitors here today, I'd like to congratulate you, graduands, on your well-earned achievement. You have generated a capacity for learning, for growing, and for giving, for learning beyond the boundaries of your chosen studies, for growing into outstanding professionals with knowledge and integrity, and for giving your time in making a difference to those around you. We are immensely proud of you, and we hope that you are justifiably proud of yourselves. As a busy international port, many journeys start and end in Portsmouth, and I hope you can take a moment today to pause and reflect on your own journey with us, to think of where you've come from, what you've become, and where you are heading. Too often today, when we turn on the radio, the television, or open a paper, we're faced with a barrage of bad news. It would be so easy to be pessimistic. But then a day like today comes along, and I look out at your faces, and I'm filled with a sense of optimism. I see passionate, highly skilled people ready to reshape our world. It's a tremendous feeling and a welcome reminder that our future is in good and safe hands. Of course, this does not mean that your future journeys are going to be easy. But what is clear is that the demand for the kind of graduate skills that you have developed continues to grow. Your University of Portsmouth qualification has real value in the UK and on a global scale. It provides the edge that will be vital to help you tackle many of the challenges that the world faces. You are graduating from a university in the top 2% of universities worldwide. We are committed to providing the very best education and an experience that enables our graduates to make a real contribution to society. More than 92% of our graduates from last year were in work or further study within 6 months of graduation, which is a real achievement given the current economic climate. Not only are our graduates more employable and more active in society, they are also, you'll be pleased to hear, far less likely to end up in prison. So I hope you can take some comfort from that observation. While the vast bulk of the credit for your achievement in graduating today is clearly yours, I'm sure that you would agree that there are others who have played a crucial role. You owe much to your parents, your partners, your children, and your friends, all of whom have helped by providing encouragement, a shoulder to cry on, and just occasionally, if you're anything like my children, some cash to help the world go round. And then there are the staff who have inspired you in your learning and have gone the extra mile to help with a problem. All of these people have kept faith in you and have willed you to succeed. And very soon, they'll get the pleasure of seeing you take the long walk across this stage and graduate. I think that it's appropriate that you now say thanks to everyone who has helped and supported you along the way, helped you along your journey. So on the count of 3, I want you to give them a rousing cheer and a thunderous round of applause. And remember, this ceremony is being broadcast on the big screen outside. Now let's see how many people we can shock, okay? So on the count of 3 then. 1, 2, 3. such power. That's never happened before. Okay. There is no doubt that your degree is valuable, but of course it's your personal enthusiasm and creativity that will now propel you forward. And we want to continue to be a part of your future aspirations. In many ways, you never really leave us, because the day is just the beginning of the next step in a lifetime relationship with your university as members of our international community of graduates. Make use of our excellent Alumni Association and keep touch as you set out on your future journeys. We want to know where you go next, as you will be the future leaders, thinkers, creators, and innovators. Come back now and again and share your experience with us and help to inspire the next generations of students. Remember that in graduating today, you are part of a privileged minority that's had the advantages of a university education. With that privilege comes responsibility. Reflect upon your obligations as graduates. You are trustees of the skills and knowledge that you have developed. Use your talents to enrich society and make a difference for the benefit of others. Raise aspirations among all those you encounter and set an example in behaviour and achievement that others will seek to emulate. You have lived in a diverse environment for the past few years. Take the appreciation of that difference and that culture and friendship with you in all that you do. As a Portsmouth graduate, we want you to be successful because your successes and achievements will reflect well on us, your university, and our successes in the future and our achievements will reflect upon you. You are the future, and I would encourage each one of you to grasp the opportunities that will present themselves. Be bold, be ambitious, never settle for second best. I congratulate you on your awards and wish you every success for the future. Thank you. Chancellor, the University has resolved to confer the degree of Doctor of the University honoris causa upon Karen Blackett.
Chancellor, Pro-Vice-Chancellor. Karen Blackett, OBE, is Chief Executive of MediaCom, one of Britain's largest and most successful media buying and planning agencies, employing around 1,100 people with clients including Sky, Audi and GSK. Karen's career in the media industries spans over 20 years and is clearly formidable. At MediaCom, she controls 1.2 billion of media billings, and last year won over £119 million of new business for the company. She has featured twice in Management Today's 35 Under 35 list, is Veuve Clicquot Businesswoman Award finalist, and she has appeared 5 times in the Power list of the UK's 100 most influential black people. She was the first businesswoman to top that Power List 100, and in 2014 she received an OBE in the Queen's Birthday Honours for services to media and communications. So there is no doubt that Karen Blackett is not only powerful and influential, but she is a powerful and influential woman, and she is a powerful and influential black woman. And for all this, I could not be prouder to reveal that Karen Blackett, OBE, is also an alumna of University of Portsmouth, a 1992 graduate of geography, and a guest that we most warmly welcome back today. We also welcome Karen's mum, Juanita, again a good reminder to acknowledge the support that so many students get from mums and dads, family, friends, partners, and kids. In her 2015 TEDx talk, Karen asked the audience to raise hands if they were, quote, misfits and pioneers, and raised her own hand, along with many of us. Karen went on to discuss a survey suggesting that 61% of people adopt the strategy of covering in the workplace. That is, 61% admit to suppressing their natural characteristics or instincts in order to succeed at work. And Karen gave examples of covering that included women at work feeling that they need to diminish their femininity, mothers at work who feel they shouldn't refer to their families, a person who is gay not feeling that they can bring their partner to a work event, men at work feeling that they need to be perceived as one of the boys, and so on. But, she asserted, as a misfit and pioneer, that means that you cannot cover. And here is where I want to channel Karen Blackett in addressing the graduands in the audience, shortly to become graduates and shortly to emerge from University of Portsmouth into bright and bold futures, every one. Karen Blackett's insistence and her belief is that it's okay to be you, to be real, and essentially that success comes from being authentic. And as a proud black working class woman in an industry in which non-white people working at any level in media industries and agencies numbered just over 11%, Karen was aware of two things. She could not cover her gender or her skin colour, nor would she want to. And secondly, as her dad had told her, she would need to work doubly hard to succeed. So she had to find a way to keep it real, and to do so, she developed a set of beliefs that reflect her authenticity, her truth, and her reality. And you, graduands of today, we urge you to do the same. Karen Blackett's authenticity comes from her clear sense of who she is, including the importance of her Caribbean background, her immigrant heritage, and the work ethic of her parents, her generosity in developing top talent to surround her, and her role simultaneously as mother, challenger, and entrepreneur. And Karen's beliefs include this great advice: be aware of the realities of your situation, but not defined by it. Find decent role models who inspire you and cheerleaders who will always tell you the truth. Celebrate the unique differences that make you, you. Remain constantly open to and welcoming of feedback, and remain alert always to learning. Don't be diminished by circumstances or challenges that you have no control over. Expect the unexpected, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And as Karen has said, I'm no Wonder Woman, although I would differ from that, and I'm not an island. Now, I endorse every one of these principles, and I am inspired and moved by them. Karen, as fellow misfit and pioneer, I salute you. And I am reminded always to speak in my own accent and to tell my own truth. I know our graduates today will be equally affected, and it is an honour and a joy to have you here on this special day for them. Chancellor, Pro-Vice-Chancellor, I present you Karen Blackett, OBE, for the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
By the authority of the University, I admit you to the degree of Doctor of the University, honoris causa.
Thank you very much. I cannot tell you what an honour and a privilege it is today to be here, having graduated 23 years ago with my geography degree from the university. And it's very true, the university does allow you not to be in prison, and it does actually give you a really good foundation and grounding for your future career. And everything that Catherine has said with regards to making sure that you are you, making sure that you are authentic and real, and that everything that you have learnt at the university, that inner belief, that self-confidence, will absolutely put you on a good path to your future career. Thank you all very, very much.
Chancellor, I certify that all those presented at this ceremony have successfully completed their studies and have satisfied all the conditions and requirements of the university.
By the authority of the university, I confirm that all those who are duly qualified are hereby admitted to the awards for which they are presented.
Chancellor, I present to you the following successful candidates for the award of Bachelor of Arts in Environmental Geography. Michael Koutsavakis. Stuart Robinson. Jack Short. James Walters. Bachelor of Arts in Geography, Rachel Bell. Susan Bell. And with first class honours, Charlotte Bilson. Murray Bridgewater. Mary Brown. Eleanor Berquist. Ellie Carrington. Alexandra Clark. Emily Curate. Molly Curran. Jack Davey. Ellen Gamble. Eleanor Gleave. Lucy Hale. And with first class honours, Emily Hill. Emma Humphreys. Madeline James. Lewis Jones. And with first class honours, Matthew Jones. Nathan Lau. And with first class honours, Abigail Lewis. Thomas Miles. Jonathan Neal. Danielle Plowman. Alexis Quilter. Emily Sandover. Miles Smith. Zenko Sincision. And with first class honours, Vicky Teasdale. Hannah Thomas. Jack Ward. Lewis Waterman. Tessa Whitehouse. Jamie Wilkes. Bachelor of Arts in Human Geography, Jessica Anastasiadis. James Banham. Gareth Bates. Cassie Brake. Christopher Brandon. Finley Carpenter. And with first class honours, Danielle Chohan. Alex Collins. And with first class honours, Gemma D'Souza. Kari Davey. William Fayers. And with first class honours, Chloe Girdler. Lewis Knox. Grace Marchant Ryan. Miles MacLeod. Rose Micklewright. George Watling. Sinead Williams. Joshua Wilson. Bachelor of Science in Environmental Geography, Connor Bolton. Ryan Hopwood. Lloyd Humes. And with first class honours, Tom Moss. And with first class honours, Jonathan Pickering. Melissa Wilson. Bachelor of Science in Geography, Christopher Brooke. Georgia Brooks. Amy Bruin. Alexandra Bryden. Will Chalcroft. Nathan Chilton. Jonathan Clark. And with first class honours, Daniel Connell. Emma Cooper. Fliss Cooper. Samuel Crump. Jake Kerno. Rachel Durrant. William Grogan. Jonathan Harris. Nicholas Jones. Michaela George. Christian Calder. Thomas Killeran. Alice Lazel. And with first class honours, Joe Matthews. Freya McCarthy. Lewis McCarthy. Tom McCready. Luke Mitchell. Sally Moore. Jenna Morg. Rosie Nelson. Stephen Parsons. Tyrone Phillips. Simon Potter. Ashley Purchase. James Richardson. Patricia Rushka. Laura Sanders. Harris Sayek. Harriet Severinson. Tom Shipston. Christopher Spedding. Thomas Still. Rebecca Swanborough. Samuel Thwaites. Holly Tuff. James Truitt. Melissa Turney. And with first class honours, Simrath Verdi. John Webster. David Wheatman. Bachelor of Science in Geography with Geographical Information Science, Ryan Bamford. Amanda Brown. Anna Creation. Brad Harris. Moxa Kachia. Stuart Lanham. And with first class honours, Connor Smith. Bachelor of Science in Physical Geography, Matthew Alban Crouch. Rowan Artley. Joshua Bartholomew. Ben Crampin. Samuel Downs. Oliver Gillard. Lawrence Holden. Abby Hollis. Ellie Jones. Lionel Lecuyer. Daniel Lynn. Eloise Marner. Alexander Parker. And with first class honours, Louise Richards. George Taylor. Thomas Thorpe. Lucy Wenzel. Ross Whittington. Master of Science in Coastal and Marine Resource Management, Andrew Ball. Lydia Hall. Jonathan Newell. And with distinction, Harriet Nichols. Emily Smith. Philippe Steigler. Master of Science in Geographical Information Systems. With distinction, Khalid Al-Saifi. Issam Al-Kanani. Hokam Magdid. Temisaran Odeka. And Tony Katangole.
Chancellor, I present to you the following successful candidates for the award of Bachelor of Arts in Creative and Media Writing. Holly Andrews. Alice Barnard. Robin Bartlett. And with first class honours, Charlotte Cook. And with first class honours, Craig Dewitt. Adam Farrell. Matthew Green. Amelia Mittens. Elizabeth New. Lonica Sibenga. Aaron Thompson. Christian Toms Arbel. And for Bachelor of Arts in Drama and Performance, Evangeline Abbott. Laura Addy. And with first class honours, Jessica Buttery. Ellen Cameron. Russell Cameron. Taylor Chapman. And with first class honours, Elena Christodoulou. Edward Clark. Emily Cole. Joseph Deacon. Jack Dogrel. Abby Ford. Zach Harkis. Katie Holding. James Johnson. Megan LeGrice. Ashima Lovely. Maisie Mullis. Emily Naylor. Kevin O'Donoghue. Jessica Price. Katie Rogers. Reese Thomas. Stephanie Timmins. Neda Vulcheva. Alex Varney. Jade Ware. Bianca Volkenstein. Adele Young. And for the award of Bachelor of Arts in English and Creative Writing, Gabriella Bennett. Abigail Bradley. Hannah Brown. And with first class honours, Lucy Cook. Lauren Croxford. Beth Giddings. Belinda Guy. Imogen Hart. Hayley Johnson. Gemma Lake. Rachel Masiras. Jordan Neal. And with first class honours, Ella O'Riordan. Fionn Rawsthorne. Nicholas Rowe. Molly White. And for the award of Bachelor of Arts in English and Drama, Elizabeth Coleman. Gabriella Darmanin. And with first class honours, Emily Hawes. And with first class honours, Lee Maynard. Heather Noble. Natasha Underwood. And for the award of Bachelor of Arts in English and Film Studies, and with first class honours, Jess Ailes. Amelia Cole. Faye Dunlop. Hannah Gabriel Christos. Natalie Gurney. Jade Kennedy. Bianca King. Aviv Martin. Hannah Martin. Ora Tolde Berhan. And for the award of Bachelor of Arts in Film and Television Studies, Rebecca Burgess. Alexander Butler. Alex Elvin. Grace Garside. Holly Jackson. Catherine Lee. Jessica Matthews. Robin O'Mahony. Deshani Ranawira. Charlotte Waters. And for the award of Bachelor of Arts in Film Studies, Evie Ashdown. Sadie Chillingworth. Christopher Ives. Emilio Fattore. Michaela Hampshire. Ben Hudson Leathers. Eamon Cardim. Rebecca Kirby. Taranjit Lote. Lee Medcraft. And with first class honours, Hayley Rogers. Erica Vey-Kasaite. Ella Worth. Harry Bizzell. And with Bachelor of Arts in Film Studies and Creative Writing, and with first class honours, Barnaby Arathun. Peter Jackson. George Marsden. Laura Percival. Olivia Powling. Connor Reason. Harriet Thompson. And for the award of Bachelor of Arts in Media Studies and with first class honours, Tom Barron. Hannah Bainham. Shelley Burgess. Sam Clark. Matt Crook. Holly Croucher. And with first class honours, Richard Crowell. Connor Duffy. Zainab Eda Telly. Samantha Fury. Claudia Hayler. Emily Hockey. Fraser Hughes. And with first class honours, Lucy Hutchinson. Agna Eudaskaita. Eve Mahoney. Sarah Meeking, apologies. Elizabeth Mirthwaite Price. And with first class honours, Danny Randon. Rosie Scott. Lauren Shuttle. Heather Singleton. Catherine Ward. Sam Winter. Paige Wolford. And for the award of Bachelor of Arts in Media Studies and Entertainment Technology, Sajda Ali. Sophie Broom. Errol Dervish. Yang Fong. Hakon Gu. Lacey Hamilton. Taru Lake. And with first class honours, Jonathan MacDonald. Aaron McKenna. Robert Powell. George Russell. Hui Hui Shen. George Spencer. Jake Staines. Claudia Sullivan. Jaiman Sun. Darnell Temenu. Bart Wolzak. Leanne Wong. Matthew Wood. Sherlyn Yap. Daijong Lee. And for the award of Master of Arts in Creative Writing, Annabelle Bidwell Richards. Beverly Folds Barber. James Gardner. And with distinction, Amanda Gary. And with distinction, Suzanne Shipp. Rachel White. For the award of Master of Arts in Film and Television Studies, and with distinction, George East. Jennifer Dawn Littler. Tony Toll. He Yuan. And for the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a programme of research in extreme art film, text, paratext and DVD culture, Simon Hobbs. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a programme of research in the History Boys, Masculinity, Memory and the 1980s in British cinema, Andrew Pope. Andrew. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a programme of research in But Where on Earth is Home? A Cultural History of Black Britain in 1970s Film and Television, Sally Shaw. For the award of Doctor of Philosophy for a programme of research in A Critical Survey of BBC Films 1988 to 2013, Anne Woods.
Chancellor, I present to you Edward Clark, newly BA Hons in Drama and Performance, to respond on behalf of the graduates.
Thank you. Chancellor, honoured guests, fellow graduates, family and friends. It is a privilege to be stood here before you on this day of celebration, where we come together to acknowledge our academic successes and reminisce about a journey we have shared together. Today is a day some of us have dreaded, as it would mean no longer being classed as a student. As a fellow graduate, it is the highest honour I could receive to speak on behalf of all of us here today. Everyone here today has followed his or her own journey that has led us to this graduation. And it's when you consider that some of us graduates have only been here at this university for mere 3 years, it is astonishing to see how far we have come as individuals, growing from the enthusiastic, bright-eyed freshers into the more realistic, grounded graduates we all represent today. I remember 3 years ago leaving home full of excitement and anticipation, but also some fear. I'm sure we all remember our first days at university. Personally, I was scared my overpowering loud voice might scare or shock my fellow students. And I'm certain now that all my peers have experienced this at some point during our degree. We all ventured into the unknown, with many of us taking our first steps into independence. For many of us, it was the first time we moved away from home, leaving behind our family and our friends. It was a daunting experience, but we quickly created a new family with everyone here today. The bonds we have formed shall never be forgotten, and some of the friendship that blossomed in this wonderful city will surely last a lifetime. Fellow graduates, what I want to say is, never forget the people you have met here at your time during university, whether it be your friends, your housemates, your lecturers, your sports teammates, or even some of the bright and lovely locals Portsmouth has even introduced us to in the past 3 years. Portsmouth has provided us with a place in which to grow into the amazing people we represent today. And throughout our time at university, we have all faced times of hardship, times when maybe we needed a helping hand. And this is when the Portsmouth family I've described became so important to us all. But we have also had such treasured and cherished moments during our time in Portsmouth. And these moments can never be taken away or tarnished. And when we talk of university, these are the memories we will remember so fondly. For us drama graduates, the past 3 years, our home has been Wiltshire Building. And it's quite fitting that we ended our journey in that wonderful building before it moved to New Theatre Royal. The memories of Wiltshire Building will be remembered so warmly, and the pure happiness and love we all share for that building shall never be replaced. I think. I don't know. This brings me to the hardest part of my speech, in which I offer a vote of thanks. In fact, there are so many people to thank, including Google, Greggs, and Wikipedia for getting me my degree. But seriously, there are a special few we need to single out. All of our family and friends for all their support, whether it was a shoulder to lean on or lending us money when somehow our loans just disappeared. And in particular, we should thank every single member of the university staff that supported us during our time at university. In my case, I offer a personal thank you to my mum, my dad, my brother and my sister, as everything I've achieved is for you. And to everyone in the School of Media and Performing Arts, and especially my lecturers Joe, George, Matt, Ben, Konstantinos and Laura, as without them, many of us wouldn't be here. But we should also offer a huge thank you to the technical and the staff administrators that facilitated our studies. In my case, these people included Walid, Greg, Russ, Roy and Ralph. Yeah, let's give a round of applause. Yeah. Words do not do justice for all the support they have offered us throughout our degrees. And finally, to end, fellow graduates, we never let the Portsmouth rain get us down. We never let the snow when it came freeze our enthusiasm. We never let unexpected grades hold us back. Throughout all the difficulties that we may have been faced, we overcame these challenges and confronted them like true graduates. We have all grown so much and achieved things we didn't even think were possible. We should look back upon our time in Portsmouth with such pride because we made it through, and we can tick this experience off our bucket lists. A massive congratulations to all graduates of 2015. Good luck and thank you.
Well done, Edward. Hanging around performing arts hasn't rubbed off on you at all, so very well done. Look at you, you're graduates. How great is that? Come on, let's hear it for them. So, one of the great privileges of being Chancellor, apart from, being allowed to dress up as a wizard, is that I get to pass a few words on at graduation. Now, for the mature graduates, I doubt I can be very helpful. You have already made the brilliant decision to continue your education, and I applaud you for it. You are an inspiration to us all. Let's hear it for the mature graduates. For the brilliant young people graduating today, the first thing I would say is that you are brilliant. young people, and don't let anyone in the older generation tell you otherwise. I have great faith in you, and I can only apologize for the many messes my generation has been responsible for. You know, improving one's mind ought to be a fundamental right, but there are millions of children across the world who are prevented from going to school each day. We don't know the exact figures, but there are roughly 775 million illiterate adults worldwide, with women representing 2/3 of them. I'm sure lots of you saw, I was doing the rounds on the internet and in the news last week, it was a very moving picture of a 9-year-old boy called Daniel Cabrera, who lives in the central Philippines. Daniel's family live in extreme poverty, and he was seen trying to do his homework on a wooden stool at night, placed close to a McDonald's window so he could catch the light from the shop. That is determination. And the truth is, you are already among the world's elite in terms of schooling. So today, July the 17th, 2015 is a big day for you. It is the day you begin to take your place in the world as others have done before you. And what will you do with this great position that you find yourselves in? Well, there's a few things that I would suggest to you. First of all, make sure you participate in what happens in the world. This week, as it happens, is the anniversary of the storming of the Bastille in 1789. It's one of the iconic moments in the French Revolution. Now, I'm not suggesting that you storm anywhere today. I expect some of you have got dinner reservations, but I am going to say that nothing pleases me more than occasionally seeing people in a rage. If you care about things, sometimes you will need to get angry. You know, a couple of years ago, there were protests in London by students about the frankly appalling increase in university fees which your generation has suffered. And my son was 16 at the time, and he phoned me up to see if he could participate. And I said to him, darling, here's the key thing you need to learn about protesting. You don't ask your mother, you just get on with it. Fight for what you believe in. Now, I think about a woman you probably will never have heard of. She was called Dorothea Lynde Dix. She died today, July the 17th, in 1887. She was born in Massachusetts at the turn of the 19th century. This is a period when women just didn't found anything, and they certainly were not expected to find solutions to problems. She went on to establish the very first mental health care facilities in the United States at a time when no one thought that anyone with psychiatric troubles needed help rather than punishment. If you see a problem in the world, and it might be locally or it might be on a grander stage, don't leave it up to someone else to solve. Think of a woman like Dorothea Dix and step forward yourselves. Most importantly, be passionate. Love with all your hearts, for life is nothing without passion. Be passionate about those you love, about what you do. Please promise me, if you ever are bored rigid in a job, leave. Find anything else to do. And don't stay with a partner just because you are scared to be alone. You deserve better. So, here's the thing about being passionate. Sometimes that means you're going to have to be prepared to stand alone, to try something that no one else thought was a good idea. Like a wonderful man called Douglas Corrigan, who today, in 1938, took off from New York to fly the wrong way to Ireland. Okay? He became known as Wrong Way Corrigan. Now, how do you go the wrong way? Well, here's the thing. He'd flown from California to New York, but he didn't have permission to fly to Ireland. And Corrigan, wanted to fly the Atlantic, but he only had permission to return to California. Now, in those days, hard to imagine now, but only the great aviator Charles Lindbergh had flown the Atlantic, and he had done it with, bags of money invested in an excellent plane. Corrigan had a ramshackle plane, which he had built himself, and no one thought he could make it. So when he took off, he simply claimed that he went the wrong way. So instead of going to California, he headed for Ireland, but he said it was a mistake. The fact that there was miles of ocean underneath him instead of land, apparently he never noticed. And it took him 27 hours. All he had with him was 2 chocolate bars, 2 boxes of fig bars, and some water. He had no radio and a compass, which was 20 years old. But you know what he had? He had guts. And when he returned to America, more people turned out for his Broadway ticker tape parade than had honored Lindbergh after his triumphant transatlantic flight. If you have what everyone else thinks is a crazy idea, do not listen to the crowd. Follow your heart. If you believe something is right, sometimes you need to go the wrong way and go it alone. And while you fight for what you believe in, can I also urge you to allow some room for doubt? Don't be so extreme in your views that you don't allow room for the thoughts of others. It was today, July the 17th in 1975, that an American Apollo and a Soviet Soyuz spacecraft docked with each other in orbit, marking the very first such link-up between spacecraft from the two nations. How much better a symbol that is than the current Cold War that we see being enacted. I am certain that in your time here, what you've learned is that there are lots of ways to solve or even view the same problem. Being so certain that you are right sometimes fails to allow for the possibility that someone else might have an even better idea. Cooperation and conciliation help us to survive. So consider how you interact with the world. Now this week, as it happens, is the 9th birthday of Twitter, one of the largest social media platforms in the world. I don't tweet at all, but because I have a life, but I'm not at all against, not an old fogey who's against all these great technological developments for how we communicate, but here is my advice to you. Try and be of the moment. So what does that mean? Well, instead of texting and tweeting people who are not with you that you are having a wonderful time, try having a wonderful time with the people you are actually with. For the younger ones amongst you, sometimes that may even be your parents. And now that you are officially grown up, you might be shocked to discover there is more to them than you thought. And here is a really radical idea. Stop taking pictures of yourself long enough to admire the view. Here's a quick sidebar. I'll just pass on this thing I've learned. Eventually, when you have kids of your own, a very useful rule of thumb, which I pass on, never have more kids than you have car windows. It's just my mistake. Parents, a quick note to you. There may also be more to your kids than you thought. And you will soon discover this, as even children with degrees are unlikely to leave home, so good luck with that. What else? What else? Beauty. Oh my goodness, you all look so beautiful today. You're all dressed up and because you're young. The bad news, it's not going to last. Boys, your hair will go. Girls, you don't want to know what's going to go. Here is the good news. The world is a beautiful place, and your store of knowledge, even with a degree, is simply in its infancy. There are so many wonderful books to read, paintings to admire, and music to get lost in, and I envy you the journey ahead. Don't dwell on your failures. I have them all the time. You only have to look on the television channel Dave to see them. They're there so that we can learn from them, but honestly, do not dwell on them. If you are running a race and fall over a stick, standing and staring at the stick is not going to help you finish the race. You are part of a great human history. Learn from those who've gone before you and do enough that those who come after are grateful that you were here. You know, sometimes rough things will happen. You can get through them. I think about Beethoven. Probably his Ode to Joy is my favorite piece of music. It comes, of course, from the 9th Symphony. It's a work of absolute genius. By the time the symphony was ready to be performed, Beethoven had gone profoundly deaf. What an irony in life. He was the one person who never heard that glorious piece of music. Nevertheless, on the night of the premiere, he was seen running through the streets of Vienna, shouting, "Grab life by the throat." Do that, for that is the best advice of all. Be proactive, be positive, dear God, be passionate. Go change the world. I know you have it in you, and it certainly wants doing. Many congratulations. I formally declare this congregation of the University of Portsmouth closed. Please be upstanding.